Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here, another edition of Off the Top Rope. We need to talk about Gunther and Pat McAfee here from Backlash. Um, Everybody was snickering when this match got made. Everyone was snickering. Everyone was like, why the hell is this? Gunther's a former world champion. Pat McAfee's an announcer. This is a joke. What the hell are we doing? I got to tell you guys, that match was probably better than about 90% of AEW matches that have no story to them. I'm dead serious when I say that. Because even if this was an extended squash, the fans were so invested in this match. The Michael Cole component was well told, with him being very biased on commentary, him getting away from the announce table and trying to help against Gunther. Pat sold his ass off in this match. Like this was what makes sports entertainment and professional wrestling so fucking great. It's like, yeah, Gunther was going to win. But, on some level, this makes Pat look viable, and he's very entertaining at what he does. I think he needs to tone it down on commentary or go away from commentary. But he is a valued commodity to WWE. He can go in there and do the job that you need him to do and do it effectively. He sold his ass off for Gunther. Gunther got great offense in. Gunther wasn't taking him seriously. There was a couple of nice hope spots in there. The fans were eating the shit out of this match. And listen, it gets to a harmless conclusion where Pat gets choked out. This did nothing to hurt Gunther. If anything, this helped Gunther because, hey, he's not taking people seriously. He gets a win back on him. He gets an extended squash. And, Pat McAfee on a mainstream level, this is gonna be all over Pat McAfee's show on Monday. So, yes, I understand this is kind of feeding into the Logan Paul type of narrative of things. And yes, Logan Paul's a piece of shit, but I like what they did here because here's the other part of it and why I say it's better than about 90% of the AEW matches that really have no story is there was a story here. Pat got attacked because he was trying to protect his friend Michael Cole. Michael Cole is like, hey, we got to protect the announcers. We got to root for Pat. Pat goes in there. He's going to probably get his ass kicked. We all knew what was coming. The exact same thing happened. Gunther just kept mercilessly just beating the shit out of him. And you're just watching this. And then Pat, when he makes these comebacks, everybody's just like, oh, and because people like Pat and they think he's entertaining and he could do some cool stuff. Like, so again, this is why sports entertainment and why there needs to be an element of that in matches and why I talk about this and I complain so much about some of the stuff that AEW does. Yes, their wrestling is outstanding, but 9 times out of 10, none of it means jack shit. Like these all-star like 6-man tags where you just do a bunch of super kicks and flips and all this other shit. There's no story to it. It's just a bunch of guys doing the same shit. In this match, it's like, okay, Gunther is mad that he lost at WrestleMania. He took it out on commentary because, Pat and Cole were doing the yeet and were like actively cheering for Jay. So he took it out on them. Like he was going to attack Michael Cole, who's a 50-plus-year-old to near 60-year-old man. His best friend stood up for him. And so and basically what you get out of it is really just an entertaining extended squash. Usually these squash matches don't end up being this damn entertaining. But when you get stuff like this and it's a well-told story, then you're going to have stuff like a spectacle like this. And, to me, it was harmless. The fans and again, shout out to St. Louis. They brought it 16, 17,000 people for Backlash. This was awesome. And given the low expectations that you had going into it, because everybody's like, the fuck is Pat McAfee and Gunther doing on Backlash 3 weeks after WrestleMania? This is why. Because I think Gunther gains a lot out of this. Yes, he beats Pat McAfee, but still, he still looks like a killer. You reaffirm that this guy is a fucking badass and a fucking Terminator. And Pat McAfee goes in there and just sells his ass off, establishes, hey, one of the more famous people in sports media can go in there and do stuff and be fucking entertaining and have a great match, even when he knows he's going to get fucking killed. And also, shout out to Michael Cole, who played his role perfectly in this. The stuff on the kickoff show, if you haven't seen that, he was outstanding there. He was outstanding on commentary during this match. He was outstanding even in the one really near fall where he was holding Gunther's leg down to try and give him the win. Like, this was really good stuff and really well executed. And again, like I said, these are the type of things. I'm not saying it's going to be like a better match, like in terms of bell to bell, but with story and with like, the right people, you can really have effective matches that mean way more than about 9 times out of 10 of those matches that happen in AEW. That's my point. And sometimes I think AEW gets so caught up in the wrestling side of things where you need to understand, okay, you've got to tell effective and intriguing stories. And Pat McAfee, when he was on commentary or when he had promos in the ring, or when he was standing on the announce table right after this attack happened, they did an excellent job of getting this forward. And then Gunther gives Pat McAfee props after the match. I had zero problem with this. I thought this was honestly one of the better pieces of business that they've done, um, especially on this night. But this was really effective. And if you have a problem with it, man, you just don't know how to have fun, and you're just a hater. Like this was the epitome of sports entertainment. So great job, Triple H. Great job to everybody over there. Thanks so much, everybody, who watched here on the channel. Sorry I didn't get to do a live stream. I just didn't. I probably should have, but we're getting a bunch of videos out here. We're gonna have a bunch of content over the weekend. Thanks so much to everybody who subscribes here to the channel, who keeps commenting on the videos. Keep them coming. Like, share, subscribe to your friends. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.